distance. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, students, basically, what is Elan? Elan actually is a fintech division of KC Overseas, and it is operational since last 5 years. We have assisted nearly 37,000 plus students for their overseas education loans. So we are having tie-up with 20 plus banking partners plus financial institutions from whom we help our students to get their loan sanctioned and disbursed and get their overseas education dreams come true. Loaning takes an important role for overseas education. So let me tell you about which are the banks we are tie-up. From Nationalized Bank, we have SBI, Bank of Baroda, Bank of India, Bank of Maharashtra, Union Bank of India, Punjab National Bank, and in Cooperative Bank, we have Saraswat Bank. From private banks, we are associated with ICICI Bank, Axis Bank, IDFC First Bank, and Yes Bank. In NBFCs, we are tie-up with HDFC Credila, Avance, Incred, Auxilo, Tata Capital. Along with these Indian banks, we also have a tie-up with international lenders also, just like Empower Finance, Prodigy Finance, Leap Finance, and UK Cosigner Loan. From these international lenders, we assist students who are having the concern or who are not having any type of collateral or non-collateral loans availability. So what are the expenses covered in the loan amount? Let me tell you about that. Generally, bank covers tuition fee, that is 1 or 2 years of course. For bachelor's degree, it might be a 4-year course. Living expenses are covered, which includes on-campus and off-campus as well. It includes air ticket expense, laptop expense, along with books and stationery. In short, this loan covers overall tuition fee and living cost expenses, which are being taken by this university for their overseas education. Basically, Indian banks provide two types of loan based on the criteria or the financial availability of the students. One is secured loan, which is based on the property, fixed deposit, LIC, government bonds. These secured loans are accepted by all countries. Second type of loans are basically unsecured loan, in which the parents and the sponsors' incomes are taken into consideration. Unsecured loan is accepted by all countries except majorly for Australia and New Zealand. Now let me tell you which type of courses are being covered in the secured and unsecured loan. In secured loan, generally bachelor degrees, master's degree, undergraduate, post-graduation diploma, graduate diploma, certificates, and even it includes pathway programs also. In unsecured loan, eligibility are majorly for master's degree, post-graduation or graduation diploma courses. Bachelor's degree are considered or it can be covered under unsecured loan, but that too with direct EMI option. Just an example, if the course fee for bachelor's degree is of 80 lakh rupees for just an example for 4 years, then the direct EMI would be taken if it is going with unsecured. Then direct EMI can cost up to 75 to 80,000 per month. Hence, for bachelor's degree, banks generally suggest the students to go with secured based. Unsecured loan is not covered for undergraduate diploma programs, loan for STEM and management courses, and no loans are covered for medical courses, public health management, or pathway programs. Now, let me tell you about what are the acceptable properties if we are going through the secured based loan. The properties include urban properties such as residential house, flat, open plot, or shops are considered and can be taken into consideration for the secured loan. Tax paid should be municipal corporation or Nagar Parishad corporation or improvement trust. Which is not covered are Gram Panchayat tax paid receipt is not covered, and rural properties are not covered, such as agricultural land is not covered, farmhouse is not covered, village house is not covered. For unsecured loan, these things are not required because for unsecured loan, generally the loans are being given on the basis of income proof of co-applicant. It can be a salaried co-applicant or business co-applicant. Quantum of finance. What are the quantum of finance which are being given by these banks under the secured or unsecured loan category? For secured based loan, the quantum of finance can be up to 1.5 CR. And with non-collateral based, that is unsecured loan, it can be up to 75 lakhs. Now, the major concern or major part which everyone wants, that what is the ROI these banks are providing under these two categories. So ROI can be ranged from 9.30% to 11.85% in case of secured loan. And there are the concessions of 0.5% to 1.5% based on the different criterias. So that can reduce the ROI. For unsecured loan, the ROI categories ranges from 11.75 to 14%. These generally ROIs depend upon the academics, proof of properties or proof of income proof, type of universities, category of universities, country. So based on various categories, these ROIs are being decided by various banks. Moratorium period. This is the important thing in the loaning section. So moratorium period consists of study period for 1 or 2 years in case of secured loan, and it can be of job search period from 6 to 12 months also. For unsecured loan also, same criteria is applicable. Moratorium period is nothing but the period of cooling period for the students for giving the EMIs or simple interest or partial interest. Serving interest during moratorium period. Once the loan has been disbursed under the secured loan category, it's optional, or the student has a choice whether he wants to pay simple interest or partial interest or EMI in this moratorium period. Just an example, 20 lakhs plus interest paid is equal to 20 lakhs EMI. And if it is interest not paid for, then it would be around 2 lakhs. Then the total costing of the loan that is compounded, by getting it compounded, the total principal amount would be getting 22 lakh rupees. Then EMI starts on 22 lakh rupees. If student is going through unsecured loan, it is mandatory to pay interest in the moratorium period, but it can be a full simple interest, it can be a partial simple interest, or a direct EMI, whatever the categories is getting defined by the banks depending upon the loan segmentation. So he has to pay at least partial simple interest. Repayment tenure, 15 years are given by this nationalized bank under the secured loan category, and under unsecured loan category, the repayment tenure is of 10 years. There is a concept of loan margin. Generally, if we are going through the secured loan option, that is, we are keeping any of the property mortgage for our loaning section, then banks generally provide a margin of ratio 90% to 10% 85 to 15%, or few banks, depending upon the categories, they can fund up to 100% also. So let me explain you what is the margin concept. If the property value is of, just an example, 50 lakh rupees, bank generally fund or provide the loaning assistance up to 75 to 80%. So if the property value is of 50 lakhs, then bank might give you a loan sanction of up to 40 lakh rupees. And if falls under the category of 90 to 10%, then if you are taking the disbursement of 20 lakh rupees out of 40 lakh rupees initially, then you have to pay 2 lakh rupees and bank would be paying 18 lakh rupees. So this is the concept of 90 to 10. Similarly, it would be for 85 to 15% also. With unsecured loan, generally NBFCs provide 100% of funding, depending upon the ITRs. If the loan amount required is 30 lakh rupees, and according to criteria, the NBFCs can provide 30 lakhs of sanction as well. Private banks also provide 100% of funding, but it may also vary up to 85 to 15% of margin. So totally, it depends upon the ITR, criteria norms, country, university, and academic qualifications, civil, and each and everything are being into taken consideration for this. Now, what are the charges these banks generally take? Bank generally take processing charges approximately. These values are approximate values. For valuation and search, they take 2,500 to 4,000 rupees. These are taken by nationalized bank. Majorly secured loan cases are being processed through nationalized bank, just like SBI, BOI, BOM, UBI, PNB. So they take charge of 2,500 for valuation report, search report, 4,000 rupees. They take initial processing fee of 10,000 plus GST and loan property insurance. With unsecured loan, they do not charge these of charges. They take processing fee charges, which may be around 1 to 1.5% of loan amount sanctioned plus GST. Just an example, if the loan sanctioned amount is of 40 lakh rupees, then the 1% or 1.5% of 40 lakh rupees plus GST is being charged by this bank as a processing fee. Now, once we submit all the applications or major documents with these banks, what is the processing time these banks generally take? For secured based cases, banks generally take 2 to 3 weeks of working days. It may be around 21 to 25 working days, depending, because search valuation reports are being initiated, legal valuation reports are being initiated with these banks. So it may take a higher time. With unsecured loan, generally loan decisioning comes within the 2 weeks, and it can be 8 to 10 days. I can say about once all the mandate set of documents are being submitted to the banks. For getting these loans approved with these various banks, CIBIL score plays an important and vital role. Generally, bank consider the CIBIL score should be 700 and plus if it is with secured loan. Settlement, post-settlements, suit filed DPDs are not doable. With unsecured loan, banks generally consider the CIBIL score to be 750 plus. If all the documents and everything are in place, but CIBIL score is down, or there are settlement or DPDs are there in the CIBIL score, banks deny the loaning application. Now, let me tell you about the calculation of cost project. Just an example, if the total cost project is submitted to the bank of 58 lakh rupees or be it any value, and bank sanctioned up to 90% of value, that is 52 lakhs 20,000, then you are taking the disbursement of 35 lakh rupees, then the simple interest or EMI on which you are being charged or you have to pay the EMI is of 35 lakh rupees only. In short, if the sanctioned amount is of 50 lakh rupees or 40 lakh rupees and you are taking disbursement of only 20 lakh rupees, then you would be charged ROI on 20 lakh rupees only. That is whatever the amount you have taken the disbursement on, that only you are being charged. Rest amount you haven't taken the disbursement, then you won't be charged for that. This was overall information about the loaning procedure, which type of banks generally provide which type of loaning, what is the ROI, repayment tenure, moratorium period, and everything. Now, what are the documents which are required by these banks for processing the loan under secured category or unsecured category? If it is with unsecured loan, income related documents are required for last 2 years, which is mandatory. If it is salaried person, means co-applicants are working, then income tax return of last 2 years are required, form 16 of last 2 years are required, last 3 months salary slips are required, and last 6 months salaried account bank statement is mandated, apart from KYC documents and academic documents and passports of the student and co-applicant. If it is business person, means the co-applicant is having business, then he has to provide the income tax return of last 2 years, computation balance sheet or PL and account statement for last 2 years, business account statement of last 6 months, along with business registration certificate, just like Gumasta or Udgam certificate. So these were the documents which were required if the student is going through the unsecured loan. If student is going through secured loan, then property documents are required, registered sale deed, agreement to sale if it is previous owner sale deed, tax receipt, mutation copy, that is Akyu-Patrika. It should not be 3 months older. It can be taken from the city survey office. It should be within 3 months. Sanctioned layout map and building plan, building permission letter, along with electricity bill. Out of these 8 documents, if you are able to provide 4 documents, then also the bank considers the process forward of these secured loan. It is registered sale deed, it is mandate, latest tax receipt is mandate, mutation copy, and sanction layout map and building map. If the property is apartment or a flat, then deed of sale or deed of declaration is required. Power of attorney, if it is there, then that is required. Society certificate registration is required. NOC from society is required. Occupancy certificate is required if it is after 2016 onwards. Share certificate, possession or allotment letter are required. Important point to note here is that original property documents should not be a laminated one. If it is laminated, then the banks do not accept those documents. So this was the overall information regarding various type of loans which are being offered by these Indian banks. We are also having international lenders who provide loans to the students, and their important thing is that they do not require any of these documents. They only require that students should have got an admit letter from their top ranking universities. Just an example, Empower Prodigy, they are having top 400 list of their tie-up universities. And if the student has got an admit in those universities, they fund the loan for those students. They do not check CIBIL of the co-applicant. They do not require any co-applicant. Their major three criteria is for funding the loan to the student is that student's CIBIL score should be good. First, student should have got, second, student should have got an admit letter in these international universities which are tied up under their criteria. And third, students' academic should be good. So based on these three criteria only, these international lenders provide loaning assistance or funding to those students. So if any of the student is facing challenge that their co-applicant are CIBIL score are not good, they are not having property, or their parents are not that much earning member or not filing an ITR, they do not have an income proof, then we assist such type of students through these international lenders. The only one thing which these international lenders are giving the challenge to the student is that they do not do pre-visa disbursal. They only do the disbursement once students university gives the confirmation that yes, student has reached to their destination and their admission is confirmed and they are available over here. They give the confirmation to these international lenders, then only the international lenders disburse the amount to the university. They do not disburse amount in students' account. So this was overall information about the loaning procedure or loaning things or funding by these international lenders, private banks and NBFCs or nationalized bank. All you want to know is that, or you should keep in mind is that prior to applying for any of the loaning procedure, you have to just discuss with your country counselor about three major important things. One is what would be your total budget of the course. Second, if any show money is required for visa processing. Third, which are the banks accepted and sponsors as per visa norms. These three things you should always discuss or get the prior information from your country counselors. One more important thing I would like to inform you that apart from the valuation charges, search charges, or legal charges or processing fee, bank charges equity mortgage stamp duty of 0.3% on the loan amount and notice of intimation charge of 0.5% of loan amount. That would be amount approximately up to 15,000 irrespective of loan amount. So just an example, if the total loan sanction is of 27 lakhs 70,000, then approximately 38,893 amount of charge would have to be again borne by the student. So this was the overall view and overview of the loaning things, which generally nationalized bank, private banks, NBFCs or international lenders do or take from the students. So if you have any queries or doubts or questions, you can just ask me.
Yes, students, you can type your questions in the chat. No questions? Okay. There's one question, sir. Can we take loan against fixed deposit? Sir, are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm audible.
Yes, yes. So there's one question. Can we
Can
take
we
loan
take?
against FD?
Yes, you can take the loan against FD.
So does it depend on the FD amount?
Yes, generally banks provide loan up to 80%. It is there is a range actually. So few banks generally provide 100% of funding for against the FD. Some banks provide 120%, 150% also. Some banks provides 50 to 75% also.
Okay. Next question is
What is
what is the
interest
interest?
for international lenders? For international lenders, generally interest rates varies from 13 to 15%. So these international lenders roll out ROI negotiation or lower ROIs on time to time basis also, but generally their ROIs range from 13 to 15%. Their ROI are higher side as compared to private banks or NBFCs because they do not require any collateral, they do not require any co-applicant, they fund on the basis of purely students' future income. I would be just giving you a short example. If you are a brilliant student and you are unable to fund with these Indian banks due to the low CIBIL score or due to low non-income proof or non-property, just an example. But yes, you are a brilliant student. You have gotten admit in higher ranking universities and your aim is to study abroad. Then you can pay 1% or 2% additional as compared to these NBFCs or nationalized bank. For NBFCs with unsecured, the range is again from 11.75 to 13%. So if you are getting 14% ROI from the international lenders and you are not able to fund yourself through nationalized bank or private banks, then by paying 1% additional, you can make your dream come true for overseas education. Can we take loan of property which is still under loan? Yes, you can take a loan against your property which is under loan, but that it should be a nationalized uh, banks. First thing. Second, generally, if your property value is of 40 lakh rupees or 50 lakh rupees and you have already taken a loan of 40 lakh rupees against 50 lakh property, then you are not having a scope of taking the loan on that because on the base of the property, if your total budget or costing of the study is 50 lakh rupees and your property is 50 lakh rupees or maybe 60 lakh rupees and you have already taken the 30 lakh rupees of loan, you are having only 20 lakh rupees of funding remaining and your budget is of 50 lakh rupees, then the bank won't be providing the fund on that. Valuation of property, what factors do bank consider while deciding what value does the property hold? It's a good question. See, basically, if I can give this answer in Hindi,
Yes, yes.
प्रॉपर्टी की वैल्यू मार्केट में अलग होती है, सेल के टाइम पे अलग होती है. गवर्नमेंट वैल्यूएशन डिफरेंट होता है. जैसे हम लोग ने एक एग्जांपल एक फ्लैट लिया है, फ्लैट का कॉस्टिंग इज एक्चुअल एज पर गवर्नमेंट वैल्यूएशन अगर वो 30 लाख होगा, बट बिल्डर हम लोगों से 40 लाख चार्ज करता है, जिसमें रजिस्ट्रेशन अगर हम लोग करते हैं तो हम लोग 25 लाख रुपीज का ही रजिस्ट्रेशन करते हैं, रजिस्टर्ड जिसको बोलते हैं, और बाकी वैल्यू क्या करते हैं हम लोग अमाउंट ब्लैक में देते हैं, ऑन कैश देते हैं, जो हमारा कहीं पर भी डॉक्यूमेंटेड प्रूफ में नहीं आता. तो एक्चुअल वैल्यूएशन वो होती है. तो गवर्नमेंट वैल्यूएशन होता है प्रॉपर्टी के हिसाब से, लोकेलिटी के हिसाब से गवर्नमेंट का एक वैल्यूएशन होता है जिसके अगेंस्ट में वो लोग अमाउंट डिफाइन करते हैं. मेरा वैल्यूएशन, मेरा रजिस्टर्ड वैल्यू 50 लाख का, मैंने मेरे प्रॉपर्टी का 50 लाख का रजिस्ट्रेशन किया हुआ है। एंड बैंक ने भी जब चेक करता है, डिसाइड करता है और वैल्यूएशन निकालता है, अगेन इट इज ऑफ 50 लाख रुपीज, मतलब मेरा पूरा डॉक्यूमेंटेशन क्लीन है, बट मेरा रजिस्ट्रेशन वैल्यू 30 लाख का ही है। और मैं उनको बता रहा हूँ बैंक वालों को कि नहीं, मेरा प्रॉपर्टी वैल्यू 50 लाख रुपीज का है, बट जब रजिस्ट्रेशन चार्ज एंड करंट डे के सिनेरियो के हिसाब से जब अमाउंट कंसिडर किया जाता है, तो वो अगेन 35 लाख रुपीज से ऊपर नहीं आता, भले मैं कितना भी बोलूँ कि 50 लाख की प्रॉपर्टी है। बट येस, एट द टाइम ऑफ सेलिंग टू एनीवन, मैं वो 50 लाख में भी निकाल सकता हूँ, क्योंकि लेने वाला वैल्यूएशन नहीं देखता, लेने वाला तो जगह की कीमत देखता है वो टाइम पे। सो दीज आर द एक्चुअली डिफरेंट। Whether international lenders give loan for undergraduate course? Generally, for undergraduation course, international lenders do not fund. Only Empower funds for undergraduation course. That too on if the student is in third and fourth year. For first 2 years, funding नहीं होती है from international lenders. And Prodigy and ये तो अंडर ग्रेजुएशन के लिए देते नहीं, they only provide funds for master's degree. Can we have list of 400 tie-up universities? Yes, we have the list of universities on their website also. वो link और वो university list change होती रहती है on time to time basis. So it's better to get the university list from the website only. पल्लवी मैम, आप वेबसाइट से डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं यूनिवर्सिटी की लिस्ट, इट्स इन PDF फॉर्म ओनली। बट वो टाइम, हाँ, वो टाइम टू टाइम आपको जस्ट अपडेट करते रहना पड़ता है, because it gets changed depending upon their norms and criteria.
Sure, I'll download.
Is loan against FD secured loan? Yes. Interest rate for loan against FD, see again it is same, it would be on the basis of secured loan only, and secured loan there is a range from 9.30 to 11.5 range hai, in that only it could be adjusted. Is there any extra fee for pre-closing loans? Also, please explain advantages and disadvantages of loan in USA, and can I get education loan in USA if I'm studying in USA on dependent visa? First, is there any extra fee for pre-closure loan? For initial 6 months, you can't close the loan. Bank would be charging minimum amount. And post that, currently as per RBI guidelines, there is no forced closure charges. Advantages and disadvantages of loan in USA. See, basically you for USA, we can't say advantages or disadvantages for loaning. If you are having self-funding, definitely most of the students, they go by the self-funding, but in current scenario, almost 95% students take loans, because for just an example, for USA, the total costing for master's degree, it may go up to 50 to 60 lakhs. So parents generally don't approve that much funding on the cash basis actually. So it's better to take loan and go for your higher studies. And once you are there at that, while your study period also, most of the students gets part-time job, they earn over there and they start repaying from initial days only. Can I get education loan in USA if I'm studying in USA? I didn't get this question. If you are already in USA and you want the loan from that country itself, only international lenders would help you in that scenario. And if we are going with these Indian banks, then definitely we can assist for loaning procedure from Indian banks. Your co-applicant should be in India. They have to provide their documentation, be in type of secured or unsecured loan, based on that category. So I have bank approves less than requested loan amount, but if someone can't afford other cost as flight tickets and living cost 2 to 3 months in case no part-time job, then what has to be done? See, basically, as I have already informed you that for if it is with unsecured loan, most of the banks fund 100% funding depending upon overall cost of your project, that is tuition fee, which includes tuition fee and living cost. If we are going through secured loans, then generally, yes, depending upon the criteria, banks fund up to 90% of your 85 to 15% or 90 to 10% margin money. But we generally prepare the cost or budget costing in such a manner that overall your cost is gets completed or accumulated in that sanctioned amount only. But something we have to initially pay to our kitty also. If my tuition fee is 60 lakhs, then and I need more 10 lakh rupees for other expenses like flight. See, basically, we prepare the cost sheet, including your flight tickets and living cost and expense, everything. So you're just here as example, your cost sheet or budget sheet would be prepared on the basis of 60 lakhs plus 10 lakhs, 70 lakhs costing budget would be prepared, and that would be provided or shared with the bank for loaning. For these things only, we are there to assist, because this type of things or calculations, most of them do not do. And if you directly visit to bank, they won't be explaining you how to prepare the cost sheet or what would be the actual costing. And if you're going directly, they would be informing that only 30 lakhs we can provide, and if your costing is around 50 lakh rupees, then how you would be arranging 20 lakh rupees. So here our importance is there, and we allow or we make such type of students to get their loans approved from banks, and they do not miss their overseas education dreams. Can we have NRI sponsorer? Yes, you can have NRI sponsorer also, but their power of attorney is required. And generally NRIs, they do not sponsor because they have to take the permission from their embassies, and generally embassies do not approve. But yes, if someone is getting all permissions from their embassies, then they can be a co-sponsorer. Can you let me know if co-applicant has a net salary of 37K? Some private bank says that they are eligible only for 10 lakhs, just like I visited ICICI Bank and Axis. Is there any other private banks which can give a non-collateral loan? See, basically all the private and NBFCs bank give the non-collateral loans, and eligibility criteria depends upon the ITR. If an example, you have added co-applicant as your father and net salary income is 37K, and their ITR they are filing is of 4 lakh rupees only, you can add another co-applicant who is filing another 2 lakh rupees or 3 lakh rupees of ITR. So you can accumulate your ITR of the co-applicant above 5 lakh or 6 lakhs rupees. They can fund. The quantum of finance can be increased. NBFCs generally fund more amount as compared to the private banks, because private banks has the different criteria of norms. We can pay loan in early periods as soon as we get a secured job. And what are the pros and cons of doing that? Yes, you can clear your loans in the early periods also. No doubts in that. Pros and cons. See, if you are having fund, you can repay so that you do not have to pay more interest in the later on stage. Can we get loan against gold or land? Generally, against gold, banks do not accept, or land. It should not be an agricultural land. It can be a plot. Agricultural land is not considered. Is TCS applicable at the time of disbursement? Yes. What are the requirements for loan pre-approval, and can we please explain loan repayment plans? See, loan repayment plans, I have already informed that repayment tenure is there. More, they are having For secured base, it is 15 years, and for unsecured base, it is 10 years. So within that, you can repay your amount. How much US dollars can we carry in cash while traveling to USA for PG?
I have
This
answered that, sir.
yes.
It is up to $1,000. Just $500 to $1,000 is enough while traveling.
Does Elan charge any fees for assistance for loan process apart from what we have to pay to our counselor? Very good question. We do not charge any single penny from students. This is absolutely free assistance from our end to our students. What is moratorium period for undergraduate course? It is moratorium course study plus 6 months to 12 months of cooling period, job search period. So if the course is of, just an example, 3 years, then you would be getting 3 years plus 6 months or 12 months. So it would be 4 years total. Me and my brother both are going to study abroad. He is going to Australia and I'm going to USA. So can we both get a non-collateral loan at the same time on a same person's ITR for both? Yes, you can get, but as I have already informed, for Australia and New Zealand, these countries, they prefer secured loan only. For USA, unsecured loan is applicable. For Australia, yes, you can get an unsecured loan. That too, if the university is listed with these banks. Just an example, UBI has almost 4 or 5 universities listed of Australia, wherein they can fund up to 40 lakh rupees of funding only. But for Australia, 40 lakhs is not sufficing. So if you have any more questions, you can just drop it in chat box.
Sir, do NBFCs provide loan to the UG students as well?
See, basically, ma'am, for undergraduates to course, secured loan is only option first thing.
Okay.
Because as I have already informed, for a graduation course or undergraduation course, the course duration is of 3 years or 4 years. Plus, if student is going for graduation, he would be definitely pursuing his master's degree over there. So the course duration goes 3 years plus 2 years, or 4 year plus 1 year. So it would be around 5 years plus 1 year moratorium period. Then it would be total of 6 years. So the overall costing for graduation program is not below 80 to 90 lakh rupees in bare minimum case, which includes overall tuition fees and living cost for 4 years or 5 years. So that much funding for unsecured loans, banks do not fund.
Okay.
Yes, ICICI has an option. They can fund for unsecured loan also for this undergraduation course, but that would be only applicable with direct EMI. And that too, if the university is listed with their prime category in ICICI. So direct EMI means if the overall costing of the project or the student has taken the 50 lakh rupees of disbursement, then and it is a rate of interest is of around 11.5%, then he would be charged around 75 to 80,000 rupees per month. He has to start paying once the disbursement has been taken. They won't be giving any moratorium period in that. Hence, we do not suggest any of the graduate program students who are going for graduation to go with unsecured loan.
Okay.
How do we get in touch with you for any further assistance? You can always get in touch with Pallavi ma'am and KC Nasik team, and from there they can give us the details and we would be getting in touch with you. So your first point of contact would be KC Nasik.
Yes, Akshay Study Abroad Consultant, and
Yes.
especially me. You can give me a call or WhatsApp me, and I'll definitely forward your queries to Vidya sir. Yes, students, if you have any more questions, please put it up in next 5 minutes as we are coming to the end of the webinar.
Any more questions? Any more doubt, students?
Sir, I think we can conclude the webinar now. I think if the students have any more questions, I'll forward that to you, and then
Sure,
you
ma'am.
can directly be in touch with them to process their queries. Okay,
Sure,
so with this, I would like to specially thank Vidya sir and KC team to have given us this opportunity to conduct this webinar. I am definitely confident that all the students would have been benefited out of this webinar, and we hope to conduct such webinars for their benefits in future as well. So thank you so much, Vidya sir, and thank you so much students and parents who made it a point to join this webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.